France 24's correspondent Nick Spicer is following this new lockdown for us, and he joins us now live from Berlin. Nick, thanks for being with us once again. We're now several hours into these tougher new measures. Just how has the German capital been reacting to the changes?
Well, it's hard to find somebody in the street to talk to be honest. If you go to the shopping district, it's empty. Just down underneath me is a public market where there are people who come to the food trucks. They're fewer in number. They're doing a very good job of maintaining social distancing. I didn't see a single person without a mask. But just to give you an idea of how the story is being received here in Germany, I can do a little press review for you. This is the BZ, a leading tabloid newspaper here. Lockdown chaos in Berlin, what you need to know, just as you were evoking. Schools closed, all non-essential shops closed. You can still go buy a newspaper, you can still go buy food, go to the post office, but you can't go shopping for clothes, for instance. Basically any kind of shop that isn't essential to your everyday life. Here's Bild, which is the leading circulation tabloid newspaper, which is saying that as early as Monday, Germany will get the vaccine. Because that's, of course, the question on everybody's mind. When will we be able to get vaccinated? The vaccine that has been rolled out in the United Kingdom and the United States was invented in Germany, but Germany has decided to go along with the other European countries and wait for a European Union release date, which they're hoping could be decided on Monday. So that's a question that people are talking about here on the streets of Berlin and across Germany as well, when we can get past it. And here's a touching headline, if you will, cover. If you can see these two kids, they're holding up a little sign that says, "Dear Grandma, we love you even more from afar," because of course they won't be able to spend Christmas with their grandmother. Angela Merkel used that point, in fact, in a very emotional speech to the Bundestag, which I think actually touched the hearts and moved a lot of Germans when she said, "Let's not make this our last Christmas with Grandma and Grandpa," because we didn't want to follow the lockdown rules, and those lockdown rules followed in short order afterwards.
And Nick, we've also seen some rather grim figures published by the Robert Koch Institute of Infectious Diseases, where you are, which suggests that this new partial lockdown is in fact urgently needed.
That's right. It's not the infection rate, which is around at a record level. It's around 27,000, but the deaths 952, which is a record. And of course, it's a rolling average you have to look at. But the situation is dire. And you talk to the scientists here, they say, listen, it's all well and fine to have these numbers, but they're reflecting a reality which is several days old. And we really need to have better tracking, although there is a decent tracking app, and to notify people more quickly, because you can't just jump on the virus and decide the lockdown measures at exactly the right time. You have to sort of preemptively strike. And some are saying all of this should have been decided earlier. It has been decided now, but let's cast our minds back to the beginning of the pandemic. Germany was held up as a sort of model child in Europe. It had done what was necessary to slow the spread of the virus, but just last week, the minister-president of Bavaria was saying, look, we're going to become the problem child of Europe if we don't get our house in order soon, and that's what's happening now.
Nick Spicer, our correspondent in Berlin, thank you very much.